Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Monday, April 29th, 2013. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. We'll start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. What you're going to see here is that the futures are trading higher by 5 3/4 points to around 1582 1/4. Decent little move ahead of the opening bell for the futures. One thing you want to know about, there are a couple catalysts here for a little higher pop this morning. One, it looks like there was a favorable Italian election that took place over the weekend. It looks like there was a new prime minister, Enrico Letta, who was sworn into office. But nonetheless, former Prime Minister Berlusconi, his right-hand man, becomes, I believe, the second in charge over there. So Italy is rallying this morning, the Italian markets. That certainly is helping things higher. The Italian market up by 1.4%. But the German DAX is only up about 0.3%. Not that big a deal in Germany. And Germany is the most important economy. But you do have Spain, or the IBEX 35, higher by about 1%. The French CAC 40 up 0.8%. And the London FTSE only up 0.1%. So all of Europe is a little bit mixed, but Italy is leading the charge. That has been a problem nation, but today that is getting a bid, and looks like the futures are following that. Also, the other catalyst for today's market move really came out of the Wall Street Journal, as Jon Hilsenrath, who seems to be the Fed's mouthpiece these days, came out and said that the Federal Reserve will most likely keep rates very, very low, simply because they don't see any signs of inflation. So there is a 2-day Fed meeting that will begin tomorrow and Wednesday. So the meeting begins on the 30th of April, and it will end on Wednesday, which is May 1st. So I think traders have to watch for that. But they're talking about Bernanke and the rest of the Federal Open Market Committee coming out and saying inflation is very, very low, and the Fed is going to keep the pedal to the metal, and that ultimately is driving the markets higher today. So again, you have a 2-day Fed meeting coming up, I believe, on the 30th and the 1st of May. 1st of May, the Fed will make their announcement on interest rate policy, but we already know what it is. It's going to be basically what it has been, 0% interest rates at the Fed funds window, and they're just going to keep the quantitative easing at around $85 billion a month. So that's just more money printing. As long as they don't see inflation, they're going to keep it going, and that's pretty much what they're saying, or at least that's what Jon Hilsenrath is saying this morning. So that is giving the market a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a bump, and we'll see how that all shakes out a little bit later in the session. Mondays can be a rocky day. So Mondays, we have seen many, many down Mondays for the markets, and we'll just see how it plays out. Right now, you do have some other economic data being released. It is exactly 8:30 a.m. right now. I believe we have personal income and spending data. That's up 0.2%. March personal income up 0.2%. So a little bit lower than expectations, but really, who cares about that stuff? The market really cares about is the central bank going to continue to pump money into the system, and that's all the market cares about. Looks like you'll have more economic data due out at 10 a.m. You're going to have U.S. pending home sales. Also at 10:30, I think the Dallas Fed's monthly survey of regional manufacturing is due out at right at 10:30. So again, watch for more economic data released, but that is the catalyst for the market this morning. Now, switching gears a little bit, going over to Asia. Last night, I believe the Shanghai was closed, and also the Nikkei 225 was closed. So we had some activity in India. India was up about 0.5% overnight, and I believe Singapore was up about 0.4%. So we're not going to make much out of the Asian markets this morning. We'll just see how it all shakes out going forward. Let's take a look at a couple of other things here. We have gold this morning making a little bit of a move, you could say. The GLD is trading higher by about, just consider the GLD closed at 140.91, trading at 142.47. That's a decent pop. Spot gold is up about $20 on the session. So a decent move for gold here this morning. Gold has made a stunning comeback after its Goldman Sachs drop last week. And now we can only wonder who was behind that one, but nonetheless, gold has really bounced back quite sharply, recovering over 50% of its losses last week, and right now spot gold is trading at $1,473 an ounce. Looking over at oil, you can see oil is inflating as well. Light sweet crude, and here, that's the crude that we use here in the United States, up 32 cents to $93.33 a barrel. If we look at the USO this morning, which is a good proxy for light sweet crude, you're going to see that's trading at 33.27. Oil could have a little bit more upside, especially if the dollar falls. The U.S. dollar index this morning is trading lower by about 43 cents. So the dollar goes down, the markets go up, or at least the energy stocks, commodity stocks, should inflate. You should see some inflation or some inflated prices in stocks like BHP and Rio Tinto. They'll probably inflate a little bit higher as well if the dollar continues to drop. And you can see they're all trading slightly higher on the session. So again, watch the base metal names today ahead of the opening bell, because they could be in play anytime the markets fall. J.C. Penney is back in the news today. It looks like they secured a big loan from Goldman Sachs. I think $1.75 billion 5-year loan. So J.C. Penney now above $17. The stock has rallied basically about $4 in just a couple of weeks now from that big sell-off. So we'll have to watch for that. The stock could hit some resistance soon, but right now you got George Soros investing in it, Goldman giving them a big loan, a big lifeline. So J.C. Penney's back on the radar now. We'll have to watch for levels on that stock, but nonetheless catching a decent little pop today. Stock trading up around the 1750 level. There are some other stocks in the news. One stock that is gapping up sharply today is Sina Corp. This is looks like a Chinese play, but nonetheless, Sina Corp with a pretty sizable move. You can see the stock now trading around the $59 level. It closed at $50.30. So a big surge there for the stock. That's another stock that's in motion. I'll have a gap level for that one by the opening bell, so we'll see how that plays out. Another stock out here that's making a big move is this Conceptus. It looks like this is a takeover, though. This was bought out by Bayer, and it looks like a takeover, and you can see how it's flatlined really right here at $31. So there's not going to be a play on this one, but nonetheless, it is a takeover and a pretty nice move. So shareholders there should be pretty happy this morning, seeing a nice little takeover at $31. So with that said, I'm going to leave it there, short and sweet today. We'll see how this market plays out. I will have a couple of gap plays posted around 9 o'clock in the morning in the chat room, and I'll show you everything else that we're looking at there for the market before the opening bell. With that said, everybody have a great trading day, and we'll see you on the charts.